In this episode, we speak with Frédéric Fekkai, the world-famous celebrity hairstylist and founder of Fekkai Brands and Fekkai 3.0, his newest brand of haircare products combining his legendary expertise on everything hair with his relentless focus on creating innovative, high-performance products that are clean, vegan, and sustainable. Frédéric sold his namesake haircare brand to P&G in 2008, but in 2018, reacquired it with the help of Cornell Capital. He is now CEO of Blue Mistral, a holding company founded by Frédéric and Cornell Capital to operate Fekkai Brands together with Bastide, the fast-growing Provence-based provider of luxury fragrances and hand and body care products that Frédéric has led since 2017. Three key takeaways from this episode include: customers need to be wowed when they experience your brand in order for it to be a massive success. Number 2, beauty evolves to reflect the fashion and lifestyle of the day, and so should your business. 3, make being sustainable a priority, both for the good of the planet and because customers are quickly coming to prefer it. I'm your host, RJ Lumba. We hope you enjoy the show.
RJ Lumba is the executive chairman of Market Insight Media and the managing partner of Growth Cap. He is the host of Great Entrepreneurs, a podcast for driven entrepreneurs and business owners. Our podcast covers all topics related to the entrepreneurial journey, from ideation to execution to optimization and to reaping the rewards of a well-run business. In the minutes ahead, we'll share with you unique insights and tactics from some of today's most accomplished and inspiring entrepreneurs.
Frédéric, very nice to speak with you today. Thank you for taking the time. Would love to start off at the very beginning. Obviously, you're world famous, but there was a start at some point. How did you become a stylist?
You know, it's an interesting fluke. I was actually in law school in the south of France, and I was there because my father wanted me to be either a lawyer or a businessman, and I didn't particularly like it. But I came from a modest family, and I was doing some modeling. I was lucky to do some modeling on the side. And that's when I met a fantastic talent, a stylist that was doing hair and makeup on photo shoot and film. And she actually introduced me to this world and invited me to actually help her because she knew I didn't want to be in law school. So I did pursue that just as a curious man. And then realized that there was a great passion there, and so also that people I was dealing with liked what I was doing. So that gave me an amazing opportunity and opened the door to my career.
Now, passion does not always align with talent. What made you believe that this was something you could become very good at?
You know, I already had a passion and an affinition for aesthetic. I loved art. I loved aesthetic. And, you know, working in that environment, you're working with beautiful people, models, actresses, actors, and you are also in amazing sets, whether it's the nature outside or studios or anything. So it was really about a full exposure to aesthetic. And that I was so thirsty of it. So happy to see that. Don't forget, I come from a small little town. So visiting all these incredible places in Paris and other cities, flying everywhere, meeting the most amazing people. This was absolutely a kid in a candy store. So it was great. And also, one thing I knew is that there was a great opportunity for business. The reason I knew that is because I've seen all those entrepreneurs, very successful, big company like in France, Desange, who hired me after that, Jacques Desange, you know, they were very successful, very wealthy entrepreneurs. And so after that, Vidal Sassoon, and then other brands. And then I've seen what L'Oréal did with the hair. So I thought, my God, there's a great business out there, and not only local, global. And so that really excited me even more. And what really helped me along the way is that I was very curious all the time. Being curious, learning at all time, pushing the envelope, being innovative really went hand to hand with what I was doing.
There's a lot to unpack here because you're an artist and you're also an entrepreneur and businessman. Let's go back again to the earlier phase. When did you have your breakout moment? When was it that Fekkai, the stylist, was morphing more into a brand?
That is an incredible story because obviously I was a stylist, talent in a salon and in photo shoot and so on. But one thing happened, and that was amazing, is that when I created my first salon, I realized that because I was doing things that others didn't, I was the pioneer of basically doing the first day spa, which is a salon who were entertaining not only for hair, but also nails, face, massage, makeup, and so on, even lunches and breakfast. So this didn't exist nowhere else in the world. So creating this on 57th Street and Fifth Avenue, one of the most luxurious address on the planet, made me obviously the talk of the town. And one thing that I realized is that when I was creating this kind of environment, obviously I was attracting amazing, affluent customers from all over the world. And ladies were flying in from London, Dubai, Shanghai, anywhere you imagine to come and see me. And I realized one day that hair care was lagging behind skincare. And my customers were using cream that was very sophisticated, La Mer, beautiful packaging, quite expensive, $300, $400 for 3-4 ounce a jar. And when it came to the hair, their shampoo was pretty basic and not really exciting. So I said to myself, I got to do something better than that. And that's how I went to the skincare lab, as opposed to the hair care lab, to create my first collection of products that had a fantastic formulation, amazing technology, and certainly a better experience in the hair with great fragrance, great packaging, and so on. And that really put me on the platform, sitting among the most amazing brands like Chanel, La Prairie, Estee Lauder, and so on, as supposed to be in drugstore or just in hair salon. And that created an amazing buzz, an amazing aura around.
You seem to have the natural instincts for business building and branding and thinking about the experience. I'm sure at that time when you were building out this amazing day spa that you were focused, very focused on the customer experience. Can you tell us about what you were trying to provide and leave that person feeling when they experienced your environment?
It's a very good question because I have to tell you, I would not want to get up off the bed today if I don't do something exciting. Okay. So to me, the customer, I wanted to make sure they would be wow. What's the wow? And first of all, I'm a customer myself. When I go anywhere, a hotel, a restaurant, airline, renting a car, if the experience doesn't wow me, I'm never going to come back or talk about it. So I wanted to make sure I created that. And that's how I did it with the salon. We were the first one to introduce to a stylist and colorist and a reception a uniform, but a beautiful uniform, something designed by, every year it's a different designer, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Marc Jacobs, and so on and so on. But it was important to me that the experience was much more than that. And we were the first one to introduce consultation, free consultation, because I wanted the customer to trust us. They didn't have to have a service. I wanted them to talk to us. What is it their wish? What are their challenges? And we needed to answer that by giving them options, giving them a library of ideas, but also we comforting them that it would be a style that they would be able to reproduce and to create at home, but also that will feel tailored to them.
Now, is there a process to providing the service? Again, I'm thinking about you as an artist, as a stylist. When you have one of your celebrity clients come in and ask you to style their hair, how do you go about that process? Obviously, you've been very successful. You have a whole portfolio of celebrity clients, or you had it at the time. What was your process?
To me, it was very important that a customer, an actress or a VIP, felt like we were the right talent. So we needed to show them also our personality, our style. We wanted to make sure that, and I trained all my staff that way, to be aware, to be educated about more than just hair. It's about architecture, it's about lifestyle, it's about art, it's about design. So that the customer feel like we are well traveled, that we know what's going on, that we are always on the pulse, and that we're also going to help them to push the envelope, to be a little bit more daring, to be a little bit more exciting, and create also things that are unique for them. To me, always my first question is, whether it's styling a VIP, celebrities, or anyone, is what is it that I can do to really help them? Because it's beyond just hairstyle, it's beyond hair color. It's about also boosting their confidence, making sure that they know how beautiful they are, and to enhance that. So it was not just about my work because I like it.
Mm-hmm. How has your idea of beauty evolved over time, or has it? Or is beauty timeless? Your concept of beauty, is it timeless?
Timeless is a good word, but today is different than that. Today, beauty has to be relevant to the lifestyle we had. We lived through a pandemic, so beauty was a different moment there. Today, we are more free and traveling, so it's obviously another beauty as well. So beauty is about really to be current, but also a style that addresses, and that's the timeless part that comes in, is that addresses the environment where you live. Is it humid? Is it rainy where you are? Is it cold? All of this, so that to make sure that we take in consideration the texture of the hair, the behavior of the hair with that. Mm-hmm. So that is important to me, to make sure that beauty evolves in a sense that it follows, of course, the fashion of the day, the fashion of the moment, but it's not about just being trendy. It's about reflecting a moment in a lifestyle that you embrace.
Now, switching over to the products, my wife and I have had Fekkai hair care products in our bathroom for years. There came a point where the bottle changed and the price point changed. Can you tell us about that shift and why you decided to change your approach to the market?
Let me backtrack a little bit first, RG. In 2008, I sold my company to Procter & Gamble, a big conglomerate. And I was fortunate to buy it back about 2.5 years ago. And when I bought it back, the brand was a whole different stage, if you will, at a different stage. And I needed to make sure the brand was relevant again. And to do that, I had to repackage it with sustainable packaging, so recycled plastic, and formulate it with new formula, with what we call clean formula. So with incredible ingredient, clean ingredient, no toxic ingredient at all, and formulating that and making sure that the product were as performant, if not even more. So I used the new technology, the new innovation, but yet with incredible clean ingredients. So that's my offering today. And my mission today is not about just coming to market and putting product at any cost. I want to make sure that everything that we do today has a positive impact to our environment and to our planet. So that's what it is. And by the way, it's not finished out here. We're coming out with a new packaging again. Same bottle, but better innovation. We try to see what always comes up to make sure we get better if we can.
And so are you competing with different hair care products today than you were 3 years ago?
Yes. First of all, today in every industry, there's so many more brands. But today, basically, the competition is more about exposure on social media and space in the shelves. So yes, we're competing with a lot of brands, but not so many have sustainable packaging, clean formula, and professional performance. So to have those three, it's very difficult and very expensive. So we are leading there. And I think this is a great advantage we have, but the competition is still fierce out there.
And how much is the brand and product a reflection of you and your values?
A lot, because the story is, before buying back the brand Fekkai, I had bought a brand with my wife in France, in the south of France, who was already sustainable and had clean formula. And I love that brand. It's called Bastide, and B as in boy, Astide. And Bastide reflects really the lifestyle we have, which is no plastic at home, glass bottle, aluminium, and products that are 99% natural. The 1% is usually a conservator or preservative, but it's not toxic. It's just a chemical or fragrance that is synthetic but not toxic. So it's very natural, and that was very important. So I said, when I buy Fekkai, I need to do the same idea. And that's how I came up with this new packaging and formulation that are clean formula. But at home, we do not allow any plastic. Unless we're forced to. We fill our bottles all the time. Our kids are teaching us how to live a much greener atmosphere.
But would it be fair to say that today the Fekkai brand is more about a message of sustainability, and previously the brand was more a message about luxury hair care?
It is still a luxury, but the experience in hair care and beauty, to me, it's so important that it's luxurious. But also what I think is important, and that was my mission all the time, whether it's in the salon or in the product, that it's tailored. Because very often a woman has color-treated hair, whether it's a color or highlight. So that's one texture. But then there's her hair. Is it curly? Is it oily? So you have to figure out how to combine and alternate and sometimes mix product to make sure that you are addressing every type of hair in every type of weather or type of water that you have. Water is a big effect on your hair. Whether it's New York or California or Paris, it's a different water. Does it have a deposit of mineral or copper or chlorine and so on? So it's how do we tailor something that makes your hair less vulnerable to the environment?
Mm-hmm. We're coming up on time. I have a few questions that I like to ask at the end. But before I ask the questions, can you tell us a little bit about your lifestyle today? Where do you live and how do you spend your time?
It's amazing. I've been living in New York City for 40 years and love it. And our office is right in the midtown of Manhattan, which is great. But just recently, about a month ago, we took the plunge and moved to Greenwich, Connecticut. And I have to tell you, I'm loving the idea of the combination, working at New York, being in the country, and it is fantastic. I love this lifestyle because I'm very active. I love the outdoors. So near me, there is trails. I go hiking, biking. I love entertaining. So we have this amazing terrace and love to do things like that, enjoy the kids in the grass and playing football, soccer, and so on. So and plus I love the idea of a more small, easier town to navigate, more manageable. It's a little bit more quaint. I love that word in English, quaint. But it's absolutely an amazing combination between that and the urban life.
And what about the south of France? How often are you there?
Yeah. Well, Aix-en-Provence is where I'm from. We go there every summer. We love it because, again, Aix-en-Provence is the inspiration of my lifestyle. It's about being clean, being healthy, enjoying nature, enjoying people, and all of this. So to me, it's all about celebration of happiness, of life, and having a glass of rosé, but yet making sure that we also do a nice walk. It's a health and good living balance.
Okay, now on to the final few questions. Can you tell us about a book that has had a profound impact on you? And if that question is too serious, you can just provide a book recommendation.
It's interesting because it's a couple that are different books. There's one book that I keep by my bedside table. It's called The Four Agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz. And that is great because it reminds you about the code of conduct of life and how to behave and how to feel great about yourself and not doing too much superficial things. that's one thing. It's about good vibes. It's about a great karma and so on. And then I have a more pragmatic book, a book that a friend of mine who is very famous in the financial world, is the founder of Blackstone, which is a big bank, Steve Schwarzman. And he has a book that really inspires me for work. And it's What It Takes. And I love that because nothing comes easy.
Fantastic. Another question, person you admire.
A person I admire. So because I'm a soccer fanatic, I would say that I'm so much of a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo as a soccer. And then in the business world, I have to say, obviously he's no longer with us, but Steve Jobs is still, I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's unbelievable. It's so great what this guy has done. I mean, if you look at it today, I mean, the biggest company in the world, I mean, and the most innovative and the most fun and the most pragmatic. So I love that. But there's many more. I mean, and there's some people that are not famous, but who are inspiring me as well because they are hardworking, they are innovative, and never afraid to push the barrier.
Last question, favorite celebrity?
Favorite celebrity? Oh, God. I had so many contact with so many celebrities over the years. And I have to say, it's impressive to see their talent. I love them for different reasons. Many of them. I mean, I obviously loved working with, at the time, Meryl Streep, then Scarlett Johansson, or Michael Douglas, or Charlize Theron, or Selma Hayek. I mean, you can name it. There's so many great actresses and actors out there. I have to say, I don't have one favorite because it would be too difficult. But it's amazing to see. Recently, I just actually had dinner, and I'm not saying this to brag, but with friends, and Sienna Miller was there. And oh my God, was I impressed with her vision, with her thinking, and so on. And so I would say, she's the latest discovery that I thought was amazing. And by the way, I loved the last TV series she did, Anatomy of a Scandal. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's amazing, and she's amazing.
Excellent. By the way, what do they refer to you as? How do they call you? Do they have a nickname for you?
Some old friend of mine call me Freddie, but otherwise everybody calls me Frédéric.
Got it. Well, Frédéric, I want to thank you again for taking the time. This has been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you. Thank you, RJ, and have a great rest of the week.